Today, we're diving into one of the most brilliant, most mind-bending locked room mysteries ever written. We're talking about Maurice Leblanc's 1929 novel, La Demeure mystérieuse. Now, in this story, the crime scene isn't just a room, the entire building is a weapon. So let's start with the impossible crime that kicks the whole thing off.
This is the ultimate question, isn't it? It's the classic setup that mystery lovers live for. You've got a person inside a room. The doors and windows are sealed tight from the inside. There is absolutely no way out. And then, poof, they just vanish. How on earth is that even possible?
All right, so picture this. We're at the super lavish Van Houben mansion. The victim? A famous and very beautiful model named Regine Aubrey. In the middle of this big party, she ducks into a small private room, a boudoir, just for a moment. And she is never seen again.
And get this, the conditions of the crime were just perfect. The only door to the room had someone standing right outside it. Later, they find the windows bolted shut from the inside. There was no noise, not a single sign of a struggle. One minute she was there, the next, she had basically evaporated, leaving the police completely and utterly stumped.
So, with the police hitting a total brick wall, this charming socialite, a guy named Jean Donnery, decides to take an interest. But of course, we all know who this really is. It's the master gentleman thief himself, Arsène Lupin, in one of his classic disguises. And he sees this puzzle for what it truly is. Not just a kidnapping, but a battle of wits against some kind of brilliant, invisible architect.
And you can see right away how differently they tackle the problem. The official inspector, a guy named Gothic, is doing exactly what you'd expect. He's tapping on walls, looking for secret panels, and pointing the finger at the most obvious suspects, the Van Houben cousins. But Lupin, he's playing a totally different game. He dismisses all the ghost stories and instead gets his hands on the blueprints of the house itself. He has a hunch the secret isn't a person, but the building.
Just when the police think they're closing in on the cousins, the whole story takes a wild turn. A second model, Arlette Mazzoli, gets kidnapped in the exact same impossible way. Only this time, a clue is left behind, pointing to this mysterious and dangerous criminal organization, the Melamare Gang. And bam, just like that, the case is flipped on its head. Suddenly, it doesn't look like a personal crime committed by the Van Houbens anymore. No, now it looks like they're the victims of this huge, powerful crime syndicate. But for Lupin, something just doesn't feel right. It's all a little too neat, a little too dramatic. He's sure it's a smokescreen, a brilliant piece of misdirection.
And that's the genius of the villain's plan. They want everyone, the police, the public, even us the readers, looking for this big, scary gang, for accomplices, for anything and everything except the real truth. It's a fantastic tactic to pull everyone's attention away from the secret's true, mechanical nature.
Okay, now we're getting to the big reveal. By focusing on things like engineering, acoustics, and just plain mechanics, Lupin starts to piece together a plot that is way more incredible than any simple secret door. He's about to solve not just the whodunit, but the howdunit.
Lupin's huge breakthrough comes when he realizes that everyone has been asking the completely wrong question. They've all been looking for a way out of the room, but that was never the trick.
And here it is. The answer is so simple and so unbelievably diabolical. The mansion itself is the kidnapping machine. The boudoir, it's not actually a fixed part of the house. It's a mechanical cage.
The mechanism is just pure evil genius. The whole room, we're talking walls, floors, ceiling, all the furniture, and the victim trapped inside, it's all built on a massive platform. When a hidden switch is thrown, the entire thing silently slides sideways into a soundproof chamber next to it. Then, a false wall slides into place, leaving behind what looks like just a normal part of the hallway. To anyone outside, the person inside just ceased to exist.
So who is the architect of this incredible, terrifying machine? Well, it's not the big, aggressive cousin, Jean. No, it's the other one, the frail, quiet, and seemingly harmless Martin Van Houben. His meek personality was the perfect cover. He was the secret head of the Melamare Gang, which was really a gang of one, and the creator of his own perfect automated crime machine.
The sliding room was his masterpiece, but the whole house was his playground. All the other supernatural stuff was just more clever engineering. Doors that seemed locked from the inside? Nope, just a simple silk loop used to pull the bolt shut from the outside. Those ghostly voices in the walls?
just whispers carried through speaking tubes hidden in the chimneys. And that death in a sealed pavilion? That was a hidden vent that could flood the room with air that had no oxygen. The place was a death trap.
So let's talk about why this story is such a landmark. I mean, beyond that unbelievably clever solution, what is it that makes this book a true classic of the genre? Well, it's the way it mixes all these different elements into something totally new. The novel just perfectly mashes up the creepy, haunted house feel of an old Gothic thriller with the cold, hard logic of a modern technological puzzle. You throw in that flawless misdirection with the fake Malala gang, and you've got a story that's both genuinely terrifying and incredibly satisfying to solve.
What's also so cool about this story is that it shows us a totally different side of Lupin. He doesn't win this one with his charm or his fists. His victory here is purely intellectual. He's a scientist, he's an engineer. He beats his opponent because he understands mechanics, architecture, and the physics of sound and air.
The genius of this novel really boils down to a few key things. First, it has one of the most creative and original solutions to an impossible crime ever. Seriously. It's also the perfect example of a villain using their respectable, harmless appearance as the ultimate camouflage. And the ending. Oh, the ending is a masterstroke. Lupin doesn't just explain how it was done, he puts on a show, forcing the house to perform its deadly trick for a live, stunned audience. He makes the truth reveal itself.
And that kind of leaves us with a really fascinating and frankly kind of chilling final thought. Leblanc shows us that the most deadly weapon can be something we see every single day, something hidden in the very architecture that surrounds us. It really makes you wonder, right? If a house can be a weapon, what other perfect crimes are out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for a mind like Lupin's to notice them?